Good morning guys, so this is going to be a separate series to the house renovation which we're currently doing. We are building a outdoor garden room which is going to be a shed and an office. So I don't know if any of you know a company called Oakwood Garden Rooms. We've bought one of their packs and we're going to build to that specification. The only issue we have is within 1 meter of the boundaries you have to make the elevations non-combustible. So I am sort of speaking to building control at the moment to find out exactly what I need to build out of. But from there we're just going to crack on with the base and get it ready. I don't know if you can see the pegs and the green lines, probably not the best colour to have against the grass. What we're going to be doing today is like 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. We've had a bit of a chill morning, got my coffee. I've bought the rod system, 1 meter M24 galv rods, 100 by 100 mil, 10 mil thick plates, washers for the bottom, which are about 200 mil up. And then we get these, dig them in the ground, concrete them in, which I'll probably be doing later in the week. But I've got 34 holes to dig out today, so I'm going to mark them out on my lines and dig as many of the holes as I can. And hopefully the next step you'll see is us concreting in these rods. So we will catch up with you soon. Alright guys, so I've just set up ready, just dropped some weight over the string line so I can wheel my barrow. Got my shoveler, got my shovel and my breaker. Hoping this should be pretty easy. I only needed to go down 600 mil. The ground's not too bad. I think it probably drops maybe 100 mil over the whole distance from that corner back down to this front corner. So yeah, I'm just gonna start marking out roughly where they're going and start digging the holes. Alright guys, so if you do go ahead and buy one of these packs from Oak Garden Rooms, it'll literally come, I think it's like 40 odd pages of instructions, detailed information of how to build the timber building, along with information regarding how much materials you need according to the size of the building you're getting, which I could have done myself. Could have spent half a day or so calculating all the materials and then going out for quotes, but it was easier just to have a list on here with everything you need. I then made a spreadsheet with all the information, sent out to suppliers, got all the cheapest information, got all the cheapest material costs, put in a spreadsheet, gone back to a few suppliers, see if they can knock their prices down, because it's just so we can try and get this done for as cheap as possible. The only thing we haven't had proper quotes for at the moment are the bifold doors, but I think once we complete this, all in materials and my labour, I think we're looking probably between 11 to 14,000 pounds, maybe 15,000 pounds, including VAT as well, which I don't think is too bad, seeing as my very first quote for materials it was just 12,000 pounds, and that wasn't including the doors, the rubber roof and other items. So you do have to shop around to get this as cheap as possible. So I'm just going to check up on this now. I've dug my first hole, just double check all the measurements and go from there. Alright guys, just so you get an idea of what's going on. Dug 2 holes so far, 600 mil deep, roughly about a metre apart at the moment, and then this 1 metre rod is going to eventually sit in the hole like so with a load of concrete around it. You just plumb them up, and then what happens then is you sit your timbers, drill some holes, sit your timbers over these rods on these nuts here, and then put a nut on top, clamp it all down, and you get perfect levels. So I've ordered the concrete to come for Monday, so I've got this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, because we're busy most of the day. try and get these holes done so I can start concreting through the week. Do a few holes a night maybe, depending on how easy I can mix up the concrete. So yeah, get there slowly, timber base in, and then we can wait for the building surveyors or council guys to come and tell us what we need to do. So yeah, I'll update you once I finish all the holes. Hi guys, so I made a massive rookie mistake. We bought a cement mixer on the weekend to start our concreting our rods in. I thought it might be in like a couple of sections, mixer, the feet, maybe the motor, just chuck it together. So I've come home from work, about to start mixing concrete and go for it and try and get most of these 34 rods concreted in the ground. And it's in every single piece you can imagine. Feet, central pivot section for the feet, wheels, blades, the pivot thing for the bell barrow bit, handles, crossbars, another pivoty thing, some other things, loads of bits, motor. So tonight I probably won't get any mixing done, but I've got all my holes dug. They're about 200 wide, square by 600 mil deep, all 34 of them. So I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes to an hour, maybe more, trying to build this, and hopefully I can start getting a mix on, because I've got a ton of sand and chippings out the front ready to go with my cement. So even if I get maybe 1 or 2 in tonight, that'll be a little victory. So let's crack on. Right guys, so we finished building the mixer. It's quite a robust build. A bit disappointed regarding these nuts to hold the blades on. They do look a bit thin, but they should do for mixing. I can't fault it, same size as a normal bell mixer. Hasn't got a rain cover for here for when it does rain, so that is a bit of a bogus. But as you see, the Build Buddy 92 decibels on off switch usual. It is 240 volt though, very sturdy, so it's not too bad for a 260 pound mixer. Right, afternoon everybody. So we spent a couple of evenings getting some of the rods in. I bought a ton of sand and chippings, which I already used. I bought 10 cement, and it turns out I needed just pretty much shy of a second ton. So I've got a ton bag out the front garden, but we got in all these rods Thursday night and Wednesday night, and we kept running out of light, so I got 12 rods now to concrete in this afternoon. So I dug 600 deep, and as you can see, I'm hoping my rods look pretty parallel and straight all the way down. They give or take a couple of mil each one, but it should be nigh on perfect, hopefully. So I leveled them both ways, so it should be a case of just drilling the holes in the timber once I've got them all set, dropping the timbers on, and they should hopefully just slot straight on perfectly. So I'm going to carry on mixing. So for concrete, I've always been told it should be 4 chippings, 2 sand, 1 cement ratio. So because I've got mixed sand and chippings, I'm doing a 6:1 ratio, but my mixer probably can only handle 3 buckets, so I'm doing 3 buckets of chippings and half a bucket of cement to get that 6:1 ratio, which has worked out all right so far, because these rods are solid. They ain't going anywhere. To be honest, like feeling those and looking at them, they are probably overkill. As Liam says, he's over-engineered all this to survive a lifetime, so I know the base isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to crack on with this, get all these finished and cemented in today, hopefully make a start on the back timbers, but we'll see where we get to. I got some of my timber. I've got my 3x4s, I got all my roof and batten for cladding out the whole building. I've got my 2.4 2x4s, I got my, I think 4.8 by 2x4s, and I got my 3.6 tannalized for the noggins in between the 3x4s. So I also got a lot of other bits of fixings and other stuff inside ready for when it comes, but hopefully we got a few days of sun, so I don't need to wrap that up just yet. Try and get the base in, bank holiday Monday, hopefully get something like the installation etc in, so we'll see.